How you doing, my family and friends? I remember when I was in elementary school in PS 189, I had a teacher in 4th grade. His name was Mr. Lapidis, right? Mr. Lapidis. He used to wear glasses, very heavy. And ever since I was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, in elementary school, I used to act up in class. So he used to come. He wasn't the everyday teacher, but he used to come maybe once or twice a week to teach us, I think it was social studies, Mr. Lapidis, right? And he used to try to teach the class, and I will always be disruptive to the point where he began to call me in class. He began to call me a bum. He said, "You a bum. You a bum." And he used to call me a bum, right? And I remember sometimes I used to get brand new school clothes, brand new sneakers. And I would say to myself, I'm not a bum. I got new sneakers on. I said, "You a bum. You wear those jeans every day." And I would answer back, right? But he was saying that I was a bum not because of the clothes I had on. He was saying I was a bum because of my mindset, because of my mentality, because of my disrespectful ways. As a young kid, you gotta figure, 4th grade, you were about 10 years old, 11 years old, right? So he would, and me in my ignorance, I would call him a bum because he wore the same jeans every day. Then it appeared to me, right? So, at any rate, Mr. Lapidis, he really liked me to tell me the truth to my face. And not only that, I was held back in 3rd grade. So by the time that I made it to 4th grade, I repeated the 3rd grade twice. So he probably knew that about me, that I was already a troublemaker. So he did have a soft spot for me because he also was the lunchroom recreation time. He used to have the bullhorn and let us play when you let us out for lunch in the schoolyard. And then he would ring the bell. We would have to get in line to go back in class. So I remember one time, it was the test scoring time, right? And he told me, "Look, if you get a grade point average on your test, on your city test, I'm gonna give you $10. And I thought that was, amazing. $10 at that time was a lot of money. You could play a lot of video games. It was a quarter back then. You go to play video games. So he said, "I'll give you $10 if you get, a 4.0 or whatever the test score was. If I would do good on the test, he would give me the $10, right?" And he told me that one time on lunchroom when we were on lunch break while we was running around the schoolyard, right? So I always kept reminding him, "Remember, you said if I do good on the test, you was gonna give me $10." He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you," right? So lo and behold, when the test came, a couple of weeks later, a couple of months later, whenever it was, I took the test. I got a good score, and he gave me the $10, right? So he really did have a good spot, a soft spot for me, right? But in my ignorance now, when I revisit my past and I think things through, from the point that he gave me the $10, right? And I continue in my recklessness. It must have been 10 years later. And I was already out of school. I was already 19, 20 years old, maybe 21. And he was a teacher all those years. But by this time, fast forward 10 years, I'm knee deep in the street. All in, right? I'm a full-time drug dealer, right? And 10 years later, I remember I used to drive around in a Porsche. when I was a kid. I was very young. I used to drive around in a Porsche. I remember parking in front of the school and seeing Mr. Lapidis with the horn still doing his teaching job there, messing with the kids. And I remember getting out of my car right in front of him and telling him, "How you doing, Mr. Lapidis?" Right, in my arrogance and my ignorance. And he just looked at me, right? And he must have been thinking to himself, look at him, he's still a bum, right? Because I didn't do anything with my life. And in my mind, I was the most successful in the world. I had all the money I wanted to spend. I was driving around in a Porsche, the prettiest girls. You couldn't tell me nothing, eating in the finest restaurants every day. You couldn't tell me nothing, but he was actually right. Even in that, in my arrogance. And look, pride comes before the fall. Because even at that point, I was prideful. And shortly thereafter, it might have been a year or two later, I found myself in handcuffs, facing a long prison sentence. Right? Pride comes before the fall. You know? Pride comes before the fall. This is what happened to Puff Daddy. This is what happened to Dame Dash. This is what happened to Suge Knight. This is what happened to Irv Gotti. You see, these are men. Pride comes before the fall. You know, a bum is not somebody who's sleeping in the street. You know, that we refer to, oh, look at that bum. No, that's just a person that's having a hard time. That's just a person, that can happen to any one of us. Because look, I went from where I was at to sleeping on the floor inside of a cell. So what, I was a bum? I went from the way I was living to sleeping on the floor inside of a cell. You know, to being in prison, you know, with nothing, arrested, incarcerated, you know, getting shaken down by the police. I went so a bum is a mindset. A bum is a mindset. A bum is ignorance. A bum is prideful. A bum is somebody that doesn't want to, you know, take. You know, take, and get theirs off the backs of people suffering. That's why Mr. Lapidis was calling me a bum. Because he saw that my mind, it wasn't headed in the right direction. It wasn't in the right place. You know? And, you know, and I had to go through that. And I had to learn my lesson. You know, Mr. Barnes, that was another high school teacher that used to try to get through to me and tell me, look, you have a lot of potential. You just got to apply yourself. You know, that's not it. What you talk about doing, what you're doing, because by high school I was already in it. You know, that's not it. And I would show Mr. Barnes the money. I said, what you talking about? That's not it. Look at the money right here. You know, this is not going to do nothing for me, what you trying to teach me right here in this class and me getting this passing grade. That's not going to put, you know, and it was all ignorance. It was all ignorance, prideful, and foolishness. And I reflect, and this is why now, right? This is why now that I experience a small level of success, I stay humble. I strive to be humble. And all I want to do is help those that are looking at me, coming behind me, and let them know that you can do it too. You can do it too. You know? Now, I'm doing the different approach. I'm not trying to be prideful. I'm not trying to say, oh, look at me. No, I wanna, you know, if I got a Facebook, if I got a YouTube, if I got an Instagram, if I got a TikTok, then I'm not gonna use it to try to be somebody that I'm not. I need to walk in facts and humility, and I gotta stay in that space right there. And always strive to be in a position where I'm giving, I'm serving, you know, giving my time, my resources, my knowledge, my experience, my testimony, whatever God allows for me to have today. I want to share it, I want to give it, I want to help those that are not where they would like to be, you know. And if I could be the spark, that's gonna cause you to switch your mindset, then that's what I would like to be. That's all it is, man. A once upon a time felon, unashamed for Christ, forever saved.